The Complete Fighter Podcast.
Very quickly, just go into boxing. Devin Haney is, you heard about his slightly racist comments where he spoke about Lomachenko, and he said, I would, we don't really need to repeat what he said, but he said, I would beat that white boy easily. I would beat any white boy all day long. The mentioning of race seems to be a bit very unnecessary. But again, Sam, this just proves the point that I've made about him and Ryan Garcia, especially like a lot of American fighters, is they're walking around like their shit don't stink and they're buying into their own hype, just to a ridiculous extent. And I think the fact that Devin Haney is so obviously buying into his own hype at such a young age, having such a big ego, I think that's as worrying as his racial comments. What's your view, Sam?
Yeah, it's a stupid comment, like a real childish thing to put out. See, it's something you expect from a 12-year-old, like, you know what I mean? But it's do you think Devin Haney's gonna be on the level of Lomachenko anytime soon?
When I read that, I wasn't surprised. It's the same type of comment that Ryan Garcia would make, and Ryan Garcia did make unnecessarily. Do you remember about Amir Khan nearly 2 weeks ago, when Ryan Garcia said he'd smash up Amir Khan, and him saying that was kind of out of the blue, unnecessary. Same with Devin Haney. If he went into the ring with Lomachenko, as much as I really like Devin Haney, I think he'd just be given a masterclass in boxing. And I think Lomachenko has done with many brilliant fighters, such as Reagan No, such as Luke Campbell, and Nick Grolla, some great boxers that Lomachenko did give a masterclass in boxing and just toyed with, beat them very convincingly. I think you do the same with Devin Haney. You're talking about Lomachenko, a 3-weight world champion, and he's only had 15 professional fights. He's won 2 gold medals at the Olympics, and had 364 amateur fights, won 363 of them. One loss out of 364 amateur fights. I would question if Devin Haney actually believes what he's saying. I think he does. I think, without wishing to sound discriminatory, I think it's a very American thing, because Ryan Garcia is the exact same. But I would think, and I just get your view on this quickly, Sam, I would think, as I said a minute ago, the fact that he's just that he has such a huge ego at the age of 21, and that he's acting like his shit don't stink at such a young age, I would, as Ryan Garcia does, I would consider that to be as worrying as the racial comments. What do you think?
Yeah, I wouldn't even be too bothered about the comments related to race. Like, it's a childish thing anyway. Like, but as you said, I think it's a bit more of an American thing, that they have that sort of mentality that even if they don't really respect sort of what level they're at, they kind of just say, his thing was the same. Gervonta Davis was the same. Is like calling out people ridiculously early in his career and stuff. Like, it's like, because I suppose over this side of the pond, people tend to be a bit more quiet until they have a few more fights under their belt, and that they start to, until they beat someone serious, then they'll start calling people out. But I think, as you said, it's a bit more of an American thing, I think, to be calling out people this early,
Well, I think there's kind of a lack of humility with a lot of young American fighters. But even with respect to American fighters in general, Deontay Wilder coming out, remember, months ago, and saying that he'd knock out Mike Tyson in his prime and all this. Like, it's serious lack of humility. And Deontay Wilder, of course, as well. We haven't spoke since he said this, Sam, but Deontay Wilder saying that he would he doesn't regard Tyson Fury as being the real champion.
Oh, is it even worth listening to anything he says anymore? Like, it's just ridiculous at this stage. Like either he's been drinking sitting in the house, or I don't know, there's something in the water up there. Like, but the stuff he comes out with, Jesus Christ, has he gotten that? He needs to bit like Billy Joe Saunders. He needs to take a bit of a sabbatical from social media. Like, he needs to get off it and stop doing interviews and whatever else.
And he needs to find new friends, because
Yeah.
none of his friends are loyal and real enough to say to him, you shouldn't be saying that now. He needs to surround himself with not so many yes men, you know?